What's up guys, Label Lifts here. In today's video, we're going to cover the truth behind bulking and see if it's really the best strategy for putting on muscle. Bulking is a dietary strategy commonly used in the fitness community, in which an individual eats large amounts of calories each and every day in order to build muscle as quickly as possible. To cover some basics, you can either be in a caloric maintenance, the amount of calories you need to stay the same weight, a caloric deficit, the amount of calories you need to lose weight, or a caloric surplus, the amount of calories you need in order to gain weight. Typically, a standard bulking protocol will have an increase of 500 calories above maintenance, with more aggressive bulks going up to 1,000 calorie surplus. The idea behind bulking is that because you will constantly be in a calorie surplus plus training, that all those extra calories will go to building muscle. The truth is that this isn't actually the case. While being in a slight caloric surplus is best for optimizing energy levels and for facilitating muscle growth post-workout, being in such a high caloric surplus like most bulking protocols suggest will lead to weight gain, but most of that weight gain will come from fat, not muscle. The truth is, your body can only make use of so many calories to fuel muscle growth in a given day or week, and overeating will not change this. No matter how many calories you consume, it will not force muscle growth. It might seem like you're putting on a lot of muscle due to seeing increased strength in the gym, as well as your overall body size increasing, but this combination creates an unrealistic expectation of how much muscle you think you're putting on versus how much muscle you're actually putting on in reality. I hate to say this, but this is a mistake I've made in the past myself. I've been lifting weights ever since I was a teenager, and as I progressed throughout the years, I felt as though I was beginning to hit a plateau. Looking for a new strategy to take my lifting to the next level. So a few years ago, I decided to try and bulk up heavier than I ever had before. Here's a picture of me the summer of 2017 after finishing a cut. I weighed 174 pounds before I started bulking. Here's a picture of me in 2019 at the end of my bulk, where I reached my all-time heaviest of 212 pounds. While I physically looked bigger in my clothes and definitely got stronger in all my lifts, I felt very uncomfortable. I remember getting winded just going up a flight of stairs and feeling super unhealthy. I decided that the bulk had definitely gone on too long and that it was time to cut down. Fast forward to today, where I currently weigh 179 pounds. If you compare my 2017 picture to my current 2020 picture, you do see improvements in my physique. But what you don't see is massive gains in overall muscle mass. I did gain 5 pounds of muscle, but when comparing it to the 38 total pounds I gained, I have to ask myself, was it really worth it? So after gaining 40 pounds, I figured that 10 of those pounds had to be solid muscle. But once again, this goes back to the unrealistic expectations we have when it comes to how much muscle we think we're putting on versus how much we're actually putting on during a bulk. This is especially true if you've been training for a few years. Don't worry though, there is a better strategy for building muscle without having to bulk and putting on excess body fat in the process. Rather than putting yourself at a high calorie surplus such as 500 or 1000 calories, you simply increase your calories by 200 to 300 max. By only putting yourself at a slight calorie surplus, it's still possible to build muscle, assuming that proper nutrition and adequate protein is consumed. It probably won't be as much or as fast as if you were in a high calorie surplus, but the trade-off is that you won't have to diet down severely and be in a huge calorie deficit since you will stay relatively lean. You will make slow incremental gains without putting on any unnecessary fat in the process. In reality, the concept of bulking up and then cutting back down was a myth created by the supplement industry to sell you on their products. They promote the concept of eat big, get big in order to sell you on their weight gain shakes and mass gainers. Then once you've ballooned up and realize you have to cut back down, they take advantage of you once again by trying to sell you on their fat burners and weight loss teas, creating a never-ending cycle of yo-yo dieting, all while making them richer in the process. To summarize, rather than bulking up and having a huge calorie surplus, it's a much better strategy to find your maintenance calories and have a slight calorie surplus so that you can make slow and steady gains in the long term. In doing so, it will allow you to spend more time focusing on building muscle rather than dieting down and losing fat. And that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope this video shed some light on the truth behind bulking and showed you a better strategy for building muscle in the long term. I hope this sharing of my past experience is seen as a cautionary tale and will help people avoid making the same mistake I did. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Leva Lifts, signing out. Have a good one, guys.